This is Clayton Keller, and you probably don't talk about him enough. While hockey fans endlessly debate who is better between star players around the league, there's been a player putting up elite numbers year after year with a fraction of the hype compared to others at his level. It's not because he isn't proven or productive or consistent, it's because for nearly a decade, Clayton Keller has been hiding in the shadows, stuck on a forgotten team in an overlooked city, buried under the weight of dysfunction. There's always been a national headline around his team, but not for the on-ice aspect. But if you've been paying attention, you've seen what he's become. A 90-point player, a captain, a franchise cornerstone through and through. This is the story of how one of the NHL's most overlooked stars went from the basement rinks in Missouri to the captaincy of an expansion franchise in Utah, and why it's finally time for everyone outside of Utah and Arizona to stop sleeping on Clayton Keller. Keller's story begins in Chesterfield, Missouri, just outside of St. Louis. His childhood home had a basement transformed into a rink. His parents painted the walls like dashboards and hung up pictures of Crosby, Datsuk, Ovechkin, Malkin, and Kane. This wasn't just decoration, it was where Keller would spend his boyhood, in a room that encapsulated his obsession for the game of hockey and the stars that made it so memorable. Every shot, every deke, every pass to his brother Jake on that basement floor planted the seeds of something bigger, something that would one day blossom into a true star at the NHL level. Keller decided to follow in the footsteps of Crosby in his hockey journey. By the time he reached Shattuck St. Mary's, the same prep school chosen by players like Sidney Crosby and Jonathan Toews, he was already turning heads. In just 2 years, he racked up 226 points and won a national championship. Keller was already looking like a future first-rounder for the NHL draft. Then came the U.S. National Team Development Program, where he exploded for 107 points in his draft season. This included 70 assists, which trails just Jack Hughes, Gabe Perreault, and Will Smith for the most in a single season. Like most American-born kids with NHL dreams, Keller took the NCAA route, choosing to take his talents to Boston University. In 31 games, he racked up 45 points, the most of any U19 player in the NCAA that season, 5 points ahead of Adam Fox. He was named the winner of the Tim Taylor Collegiate Rookie of the Year award and also walked away with a World Junior gold medal. And after just one season, he was NHL ready. Rewinding a little bit back to the 2016 draft, the Arizona Coyotes selected Clayton Keller 7th overall. They were getting a 5'10" magician with elite hands, vision, and scoring instincts. And from the jump, he showed them exactly what he could do. Keller was poised to be an elite scoring winger at the NHL level. After a 3-game cup of coffee in 2016-17, where he recorded a pair of assists, Keller made the full-time jump to the NHL the next season, and didn't just survive, he was already an elite top 6 forward out of the gate. 65 points as a rookie, the highest total by a Coyotes freshman since the franchise moved to Arizona from Winnipeg. He won Rookie of the Month in October and March, and he showed he belonged right away by scoring 9 goals in his first month in the NHL. Keller was a rare bright spot on a team that finished near the bottom of the standings. But the next few years, they were rough. Not because of Keller, but because of everything going on around him. The Coyotes were able to make a playoff appearance with Keller in the COVID season, but that too led to a first-round loss. Through the years, the Coyotes cycled through coaches, GMs, and arenas. Attendance dwindled, trade rumors loomed, the team lacked structure, consistency, and frankly, talent. And yet, Keller persisted. Even in down years like 2018-19 or the pandemic-shortened 2020-2021 season, he still hovered around a 50-point pace. He certainly wasn't reaching his full potential, and Keller could have fallen into a lower expectation as a solid offensive top 6 winger. But that wouldn't be his story for long. Instead, he evolved. 2021-2022 was the season where things changed back. Keller was back to the level he was at as a rookie in Arizona, where there was still so much optimism about his offensive potential. He came into camp with a chip on his shoulder. He always had the skill to put up the numbers, but now he was becoming a veteran in the locker room, one that was expected to lead by example. Through 67 games, he put up 63 points. He was tracking for the best season of his career until it all came to a crashing halt. Late in March, Keller crashed into the boards and fractured his femur, one of the most painful injuries that can happen to someone. His season was over, and for most players, a lower body injury like that could spell trouble. Keller required surgery and would have to spend almost the entire summer working on rehabbing his injury. For some, this could have been the end of their prime years, but not Keller. The next season, he came back and played all 82 games. And not only did he return to form, he had the best season of his NHL career. 37 goals, 86 points, tied the franchise record alongside the infamous Keith Tkachuk. Masterton Trophy finalist, and once again a beacon of hope for an Arizona team that was constantly in chaos. 2023-24 was more of the same. He led the team with 76 points, while battling rumors of relocation and whispers of being traded himself. Keller put all of the distractions on the back burner. The Coyotes were relegated into playing at the Arizona State Hockey Arena, and yet Keller stayed loyal. So when the Coyotes were officially sold and relocated to Utah, management did something that was well overdue. They rewarded his loyalty. Clayton Keller became the first captain in Utah Mammoth history, a decision that was a shock to no one and already looks like the right one. New city, new fans, new legacy. In year one with the Mammoth, Keller put on a clinic. He posted a career-high 90 points, played in 81 games, and was the leader on a team filled with young players, many of which are now just coming into their own at the NHL level. The Mammoth finished just 7 points out of a playoff spot, but more importantly, they were competitive and in the playoff race until late into the season. So make no mistake, this wasn't a new expansion rebuilding team coasting that was just happy to be there. This was a real hockey team, with the expectation to reach levels they rarely did in the desert with Arizona. And Clayton Keller, he was their engine. This summer, he went to the IIHF World Championship and led Team USA to a gold medal. Keller didn't have to worry about taking a backseat as a leader there either. He wore the C for Team USA as well. It was the first time he'd worn the red, white, and blue on that stage since he was a teenager. And boy oh boy, did he ever deliver. So how exactly does Clayton Keller do it? At 5'10" and 175 pounds, he's not winning board battles like some of the top power forwards in the NHL. He's got a great top speed, but he doesn't play a pure north-south game where he's blowing past defenders like Connor McDavid. What he has is vision. Vision that is exclusively available to some of the best players across the NHL. Elite, preposterous, almost telepathic vision. He sees plays before they develop. He creates space in tight quarters, and he uses edgework and misdirection to make defenders bite. His stick handling is absurd. He's a great passer, and his wrist shot is also deceptively lethal. Keller is a complete package offensively, and is without a doubt one of the most exciting players to watch around the league. He doesn't force the game, he manipulates it. He is a total puppet master on the ice. But perhaps most impressively, he's become reliable without the puck. This past season, Keller took a major step in the right direction on the defensive side of the puck. He reads lanes, and more importantly, he's willing to hustle back on the back check. He's now one of Utah's most trusted players in all three zones, and Keller has shown the commitment into changing his game to be far more complete. And when it comes to offense, and particularly the power play, he's the guy. He's the power play's architect and one of the best power play players that the NHL has to offer. It's where he can showcase everything that makes him such a special offensive talent. In 2023-2024, he led the team in power play points and completely controlled the offensive zone. Keller becomes insanely dangerous with more space on the ice. He's what you'd call a tilt-the-ice player, and he does it with seemingly no difficulty. So why don't more people talk about him? Simple. He spent his entire career in the NHL's witness protection program. He's barely played in the NHL playoffs, he's never been on national TV consistently, and he's never had the opportunity to shine in a big market or a hockey mecca of the world. But let's do a quick comparison. In the last 3 seasons, Keller has more points than both the Hughes brothers, Sam Reinhart, Tim Stützle, Kirill Kaprizov, Jack Eichel, and the list just goes on and on. But because he hasn't done it in Toronto or New York, most fans don't realize what he is. A star, a leader, a nightmare to play against, one of the best players across the entire NHL. Clayton Keller is 26. He's just entering his prime years. His line mates Logan Cooley and Dylan Guenther both had breakout seasons in Utah this season, And then you think about the other up-and-coming pieces like Daniil Boot, TJ Ginla, as well as the newly acquired JJ Peterka. And the forward core in Utah is looking absolutely stacked. The team is fast, exciting, and finally stable. Ownership is investing, fans are showing up, the building is rocking. If this team makes the playoffs in the next 2 years, and they should, Keller will finally be on the main stage. And once he's there, you'll see what some of us have known all along, that he's not just one of the NHL's most underrated players, he's one of its best. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you left it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also be sure to leave a comment down below, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.